Friday morning, and look at that currant bun coming up. It's about 7 o'clock, and I took May up to the city yesterday to do some shopping, and a sister and a friend. And then when we came back in the late afternoon, I cut a length of bamboo and I split it, and then I put a bolt through the top to make my end triangles, and I split to make my vertical canes, and I've just got to go down to the bamboo stand and cut a ridge pole, then assemble that. And I'm going to have 3 different types of tomatoes here, which will be fab. Now in these 2, 1 and 2, I'm going to grow these the way we grow them in the West. I'm going to grow them tall up the canes and nip out the suckers. So you know, we usually in the West we do 5 trusses, then top it off, and that's what I'm going to do with 1 and 2, and number 3, I think those are cherry tomatoes. Those are just going to run wild. So what a beautiful morning. I've got to crack on with some watering, and then I've got excuse me, coughing. We are in the burning season. Look at this, in the burning season. Although, to be fair to the Thais, well, not round here anyway, there's a burning ban, and the Thais are observing it, and they're not burning. There's been no burning here for a couple of months. The smog is blowing over from Laos. You know, somebody told me the jungles were on fire in the mountains near Chiang Mai. I don't know if that's true or not. I've heard no reports. But the Thais around this area of Thailand are not burning. Now look at these. These are all seedlings. These are all flowers. And I'm getting another flower here on my Thai wisteria. Let's get with the light. The flower here in my Thai wisteria. My hollyhocks aren't showing yet, unless these are there, but I don't think they are, because I sowed them in a line here and in a line behind. They might. It's quite common here when you buy seeds. It's the seeds, you don't know how long they've been in stock. They could have been stored on the packets on a rack in the sun, and lots of them aren't viable. And there's a nice mulberry going very ripe. This bush is absolutely full of them. Somebody said I could make mulberry wine. I could make mulberry jam. I could make mulberry anything, I think. Mulberry pie. Yeah, an apple and mulberry pie, how does that sound? Mulberry crumble. I can make anything. Right, so I'm going to go and check my strawberry seeds. Now, strawberries take between 1 and 6 weeks to germinate from seed. And I bought the strawberries. I made a mistake. I bought the strawberries from Tesco, from the supermarket up the road, and I peeled the skin off about 4 of them, dried it on a tissue, and then scraped the seeds off and sold them. The mistake I made, coming from the supermarket, the fruit may have been irradiated to make it last long on the shelf, and if it has been irradiated, then they're probably not viable. They probably won't grow. So I'll have to start again and get some seeds from some strawberries from the market, some local strawberries. I should have done that, but I just didn't think. You know, now look at this. Yeah, loads of cucumbers, but look here. This is a baby cantaloupe melon. Yeah. So I've got a number of melons and loads and loads and loads, and more tomatoes you can shake a stick at. Look at this rascal. And another melon. And another melon. Yeah, they're doing rather well. Now, The thing with that rascal. The thing with cucumbers and melons is they are very thirsty, and I give them a right good degging, as my granddad would say, a right good watering now in the morning and in the late afternoon. So another melon forming down here, and loads more cucumbers, loads of cucumbers, loads and loads. Got to mix some BT because something is enjoying my grapes, so I'm going to have to spray those with some BT. That'll sort it out. My passion fruit. Now, David Robert Thomas said he'd never heard of passion fruit. Where have you been, David? I know, Wales. Well, you don't get a lot of... I mean, passion... My next door neighbour in Appley Bridge had a passion fruit growing up the outside of their greenhouse. It would flower, but it never got hot enough for it to have fruit. So, but here... Oh, they grow for fun here. And passion fruit are one of the most richest fruits in vitamin C. More cucumbers. Oh, do you know, I watch the odd gardening channel, and I watch a lad from Wigan called Tony. He's rather good. He is rather good. He's very knowledgeable. And he was cleaning out an old greenhouse this morning, and I had to sympathise, because in the UK, or in the West should we say, having to grow in greenhouses, polytunnels, start seeds off indoors, blah 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 blah. Where here, all we need to do here is throw them in the ground any time of year, and away you go, Bob's your uncle. But we do have our downtime here, and our downtime is when it's hot, like next month, you know, April, May. Now, these are all cuttings from the mulberries. These are all mulberry cuttings, and there's probably about 25 good cuttings there, and I'm going to have those I'm going to pot them up, and then when they're potted up, I'm going to then plant them when the rains come. I'm going to plant them along the far wall, which will be rather good. Now, what I was saying is, we do have our downtime, and our downtime is really April and May, when it gets hot, and it's mad hot, and that old currant bun is merciless, really is. So these flowers here are all the pomelo, the Thai grapefruits. This tree must have taken about 8 years before it started bearing fruit, but there you go, we're doing all right with it now. And a little pineapple going off here and down into the orchard. This is a Jaffa orange. Look at all the beautiful new leaves on this Asian fig. Again, I planted that for the birds. Get out and walk. Now then, come on mate, get flowering. What's up with you? This is a Florida grapefruit. And this one that Dave and Pratnery sent me, 3 trees, a finger lime, it was a lemon, and this one is a pomegranate. And this one, again, it's doing rather well here. rather well. So I'll go and give my trees, my plants, some water, and then crack on with that new tomato trellis. Bird bath. Now the bees, if you remember, we had millions of bees gathering water from my 2 bird baths, and they pretty much stopped the birds from coming. And it was in the orchard across, there was about 50 or 60 beehives. There's an apiary over there, and bees came here for water, and so the birds stopped. But I'm sure they'll come back. But the bees, they've gone now. They've moved the hive somewhere else. So, a watering we will go. Got loads to do today. This is a little indoor project I've been doing, and it's an Irish shillelagh, an Irish fighting stick, and they're normally made from the blackthorn tree, because that's very heavy and very strong. Well, there's no blackthorns here, but I've made it with tamarind, which again is very heavy and very strong, so it should be all right. Not that I'm going to go and fight anybody. Right, I'll get on. See you a little later. Now, I've just cut down a length of bamboo, again about 30-35 feet along those sort of lines, and this is a different bamboo to these. This bamboo, when you go to the Chinese restaurant and you get bamboo shoots, this one is what it is, and these are more for construction. They use this type, they use a lot of scaffolding poles, and I cut it down with this little DeWalt battery chainsaw, which I bought for May for pruning the trees in the garden. How good's that? I'm going to crack on. Well, there we go, there's another one up, and I'll get those planted up a little later, and probably tonight when the sun's going down. And there's room for about 16 or 18 tomato plants there, which will be more than enough because we've already got 7 in there, so that's more than enough for us. Then what am I going to do in this patch? I've not a clue. May will probably do something here. You know, doesn't matter what I do, she'll crack on and do something else. Well, now then, Steve from Australia, Steve kindly sent me some packs of seeds, which I'm really chuffed about, you know, because some of the seeds I just can't get here. But there was 3 packs of Jacaranda, and they arrived on Monday. Now, I soaked them in water for 24 hours, and then I planted them in this good compost, covered them in grit, labelled it up, Jacaranda, with the date on when I sowed them, so I can monitor them, and that'll be cracking. I bought myself yesterday 20 little starter pots, so it's all go. It's all go. I've got loads of work to do. I've got more work than I could possibly cope with at the moment. There's loads and loads and loads. All down here, these are Taiwanese mandarin that I sowed from the pips I saved after I'd eaten the oranges, after eating the mandarins. You can see they're doing really well, really well. And there's a couple of apples in there that's not doing too bad. And there's another couple of pumpkins or something of that ilk. You know what? It's really funny. I bought I usually cut yogurt pots up for my labels, but I saw some on Lazada that was good and cheap, so I bought a couple of packs of labels, and they're fantastic. I'm well pleased with them. And they sent me a pen so you could write on the labels, and I thought, how good's that? So I wrote everything on when I planted it and the date. And it bloody washed off. It wasn't an indelible pen, it wasn't a waterproof pen. What's the point of sending a plant label pen that washes off? I don't really get that one. Anyway, I had a good laugh about it. Fortunately, I know what 75% of them are, so 25% I'm guessing. So I've relabeled them and I put a question mark on it. Anyway, from a very polluted, can't see the mountains, Friday morning, but the big but is the rain will be here anytime, and as soon as the rain comes it'll all be gone, so it's not a big drama, it's just a nuisance. I've ordered and it should be here in a day or so. I've ordered an air purifier for the bedroom, so at least when we're sleeping the air should be filtered. You know, I was looking all over the place. Anyway, I ordered one online, so we will see you again. Bye bye.